I suppose nothing has created more underground caves than the emotion of shame. Shame never gives us a scolding lecture, it is the quiet lecture of self to self. It can only supply itself and does not offer any redemption, other than the strange atonement of the acceptance of the lesser self, its inferiority, and its decay, because the little livability inside the cocoon of condemnation is the only structure it gives us to live in for the remainder of our days. But in the weakness of shame we discover a solution. Its weakness is hiding, so then when we expose it in full light in our minds, in awareness, before God, we can trade it away. So the trade requires trust, requires feeling shame in full as we hand it over to God, our Redeemer. It is written, "The light exposes all things," so a thing that is seen trades differently than a thing that is not seen. Certainly one of them can be handed over. When we hide a little bit of it in some suppressed level of the mind, is it not still there? So when we hand over shame to our Lord of truth and light, we look him straight in the eye, by faith and imagination, if you would. If we don't look him in the eye, it means we keep something of shame to ourselves. Light exposes all things, and our mind gives light to our inner parts as well. As I had sensed once, the Lord himself said to me, "You must look me in the eyes, otherwise your own mind will not forgive you." On another topic, I had a sort of strange dream last night. In the dream, or really in my sleep, I observed insanity. I had always wondered from the custom of concrete thought, why some people are insane in the psychiatric sense. Now in the moment of sleep, lasting maybe 5 seconds, I not only observed insanity but my mind was insane, my thoughts went this way and that way, compelled, great thrusts of movement, then lucidity returned. I had never experienced this before. I think God himself showed this to me or allowed it to a point, because I discovered something important for the health of my mind and destiny. I can't help but think here of the adventures of King Solomon from the Bible, who may or may not have been the cleverest man in history. From the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon says, "So I turned to consider wisdom and madness and folly." He goes on to say, "What happens to the fool will happen to me also. Why then have I been so very wise?" What I discovered in my revelation of madness was not some wise thing in madness itself, it was what happened to my memory of the event or the condition. I think God took it away. I no longer remember the exact madness. I see the shell of the condition. The essence was deleted from my mind. And this is the clue, or wisdom, things must be deleted. A small thought, the smallest idea, of some bad notion, that we keep in the mind will grow like a seed that sprouts. The mind is able to survive, to have thoughts of life and order, without knowing all things. It seems an obvious advice, but the automations of the mind exactly disregard this advice. The mind thinks it should keep everything, every dangerous thought, as though awareness is defensive in a dangerous world, and that it is better to know all thoughts and all things than to be oblivious. To know good and evil, the knowledge of good and evil, but see here, is this not the fruit that poisoned all humanity? Whatever the tree was, at least here, it points to a type of thinking. There must be lovely minds who have come to the wisdom that they no longer need to be aware of all evil, and that foundation thoughts, foundational concepts, which are pure and lovely, can reach into great trees in our minds, serving us. You know, a person can pick up the smallest wrong idea of, say, their masculinity or femininity, some errant thought, smaller than a virus, and believe it, and keep it, and dismiss the smallness of that thought, yet it will in time throw the rider off his horse. Let us place in our minds clean foundational templates that carry at once a weight of truth and the weight of unawareness.